cannot create love. And unfortunately, you cannot even destroy love. It's just like energy of one of the highest frequencies.
When I say that it's true love, it's not just between the body and the body. It's not just because you're gorgeous. But to me, true love is not seeing you as a gorgeous, but seeing you as a goddess.
The first stage of love is called dilkashi,
Dilkashi.
which is attraction. The second stage of love is called uns, which is attachment.
Uns.
Uns. The third stage of love is called ishq, where you're in love with the person. The fourth stage of love is called trust. The fifth stage of love, when you reach the fifth stage of love, is called worship.
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 Beautiful.
Where now you don't see somebody gorgeous, you see somebody as goddess.
Wow. But love is such a beautiful thing.
It is.
प्रेमी में जिसे रब मिले इश्क वो है, प्रेमी फिर प्रेमी नहीं है, देवी है.
See, the way God has created man, his anatomy is very physical, it's very outward. Women, as the matter of anatomy, is very receptive. She receives more, she's more inward.
True love is a rainbow of 7 colors. And to me, there can be no greater ecstasy of joy than in love.
The way a man, progresses in love is first physical, then it goes to emotional, and then it goes to mental.
Absolutely.
But for a woman, because she's more inward, it's first mental, then she emotionally accepts the person and opens up, and then physicality happens.
Exactly. See, now you know why Jai Madaan is the one to talk about love.
For a woman, a perfect man should have 3 P's in life. He should be protective, he should be providing, and he should be pampering. There should be 4 qualities in a woman. She should be nurturing like a mother. She should be like a friend, quality number 2. The third quality is like she should be like a sevika. It doesn't mean that she should be in any way lesser than you, but if she has to serve you. And the fourth is that she should be like a new lover. So she has to be so intimately engrossing that every day you should feel it's a different woman.
Somebody asked a woman, what is intimacy? And what did she say? I loved it. She said, intimacy is when you into me see. Don't just brush me away.
Thanks to Sri Rama, his father, had 3 wives. But when he married Sita ji, he said that to expect a woman to be a pativrata, you first have to be a patnivrata.
So how do you see attachment versus love?
Attachment is second stage of love. So it is not against love. Being possessive has nothing to do with attachment. You can be possessive about things that you're not attached to.
I said it's PIES, P-I-E-S. It has to be physical, it has to be intellectual, it has to be emotional and spiritual. When the relationship is body, head, heart and soul, if somebody is bonded with those 4 paradigms of love working together, then the chances of people getting apart is less.
The word spiritual is very overrated because people don't understand what spirituality is. When I ask, what do you mean by spirituality? You will just feel, probably you will have, what is your definition of spirituality?
So spirituality is not just the skin, but the divine that is within.
The moment you're elevated, you cannot be physically engrossed. Hence, people who are in love, it's very difficult for them to understand and relate that how do we spiritually grow.
Who said being physical is wrong? Why should people think that spiritual people are not human? A spiritual person can be. The question is, should a spiritual person be on drugs and should he be drunk sleeping on the road? That's a different subject altogether. When God has made a man and a woman, why did he make it natural for a man and woman to be physical?
Your book has so much of similarity with, autobiography of a yogi.
AiR.
Atman in Ravi.
Happpiness Ambassador.
A spiritual mentor.
Transformational author.
And a philanthropist.
Good evening and welcome. I can only promise you the most amazing evening, a most exciting conversation with no one other than Dr. Jai Madaan.
Thank you.
Dr. Jai Madaan is a renowned name in the field of astrology and Vastu. Not so much my real strength, but she is a well-known motivational speaker, transformational life coach, corporate trainer, and relationship counselor. Over the course of the last 12 years, she has helped many individuals, industrialists, and corporates with her specialized counseling for problems not only to health, wealth, job, career, but also love and marital issues. One of her favorite topics is how to make love life magical and how to make relationships eternal. So today, in today's conversation with Jai, we will talk about the difference between love and true love and the true meaning of the so much talked about soulmates. So Jai, it's a very casual, free-flowing chat. True love and soulmates. So the first thing I'd like to ask you, what do you think is the difference between love and true love?
When you are true to your lover or to yourself, true love happens. You cannot create love. And unfortunately, you cannot even destroy love. It's just like energy of one of the highest frequencies. You just have to be in love. And then sometimes you also be out of love. And then you again get in love. It's like, it's like you're inside your house and it's beautiful sunny day. You can just go out in the sun, sit there for a while, and then when you're like, it's okay, I just had too much of it, and then you come inside. And then you go again out in it. You cannot create it. It's there. When you are parallelly running to that frequency, you meet right people who are in the same frequency. The mind matches, the heart matches, and it just clicks. And after a while, when you evolve, things evolve. The person is the same, you are the same, but something doesn't click anymore. Doesn't mean you've changed or the person has changed or there's no love. You've just gone to another frequency.
Wow.
Where you're not in that emotion. So there's nothing wrong in it. It's not that you met somebody and you found that, this one is my real soulmate. After 5 years, there's so much of love and hate relationship with the person. Doesn't mean that now the person is no more your soulmate. Your purpose of that relationship, of that moment is over. You have evolved. Maybe the other person hasn't. And rather than being into the whole pitch of it, you can mentally move on without being physically moving on. To be in the right frequency and wait what happens next.
But love is such a beautiful thing.
It is.
People, they get heartaches and heartbreaks, when in reality, if only we discover the true meaning of love. In Bollywood, they always tell their beloved के हमें तुमसे प्यार कितना ये हम नहीं जानते. But when I say that it's true love, it's not just between the body and the body. It's not just because you're gorgeous. But to me, true love is not seeing you as a gorgeous, but seeing you as a goddess. So when I see you as a goddess, then the paradigm of love changes. So I would say कि मुझे तुमसे प्यार इतना शब्दों से ना कह सकूं मगर जी नहीं सकता तुम्हारे बिना. The point is, when you truly are not 1 + 1 2 but 1 + 1 1, then you're soulmates.
So there's this beautiful analogy that what are the stages of love. The first stage of love is called dilkashi.
Dilkashi.
Which is attraction. You just looked at somebody and you liked the person. You found them engrossing, you found them enchanting, and you want to know more about them. They got your attention. The second stage of love is called uns, which is attachment. Uns. Where you like the person and you want more and more of the person. So you're attached, you want to look at the person, you think about more and more, you're into them. The third stage of love is called ishq, where you're in love with the person. You're mesmerized, you're into them, you're involved in them, you're just into them. The fourth stage of love is called trust. where now I love you, but I might not trust you. Here is the point where if you say something, there is no question, there's no doubt. I trust you, which is very difficult to have in a relationship. If you see your boyfriend talking to somebody, you suddenly feel, oh, what if he's too timing me? That means you're still on the third stage.
Correct.
If you know that what you have with him is real, you'll go and ask that, what was the conversation about? There's no doubt in it. There's trust in it. The fifth stage of love, when you reach the fifth stage of love, is called worship.
Worship.
Beautiful. Where now you don't see somebody gorgeous, you see somebody as goddess.
Wow.
where you just worship them in a way where every desire of them, every emotion of them is just like what you would do for your God. Love is like prayer to you. It's so pure. The sixth stage of love is called Junoon. It is madness.
Passion, right?
It's more than passion. Junoon is craziness. It's obsession.
Okay.
So where you just want to do everything for them, including that if you have to travel miles away to just see a smile on them, you would do that. Worship is a more mental phenomena. Junoon has a lot of physicality in it also.
Yeah.
It's like you're mentally there, you're emotionally there, and you're physically also with the person. It's like you're all out. The last stage of love is called moth, death.
You're willing to die for her.
No, you are not there. It's only the other person is there. You don't exist. There is no ego.
You're
there is no
finished.
self.
Oh my God.
That is where oneness happens. Where the other person exists, you don't exist anymore.
So beautiful. Where did you come out with this from? Is it from some scripture or is it your creation?
No, I like understanding and reading, but then when I read about this one, I realized it's very deep. It's very true. And if you have something like, you have that alkaline measurer for your water. Now there's so much of pollution in our city. You have pollution level check also. The level of what the air condition is or the air quality is. When you know it, you know what you can do to make it better. So similarly in love also there can be these stages. And you exactly know that if you're doubting your lover or you're doubting somebody in the relationship, you've not even touched the fourth stage. You're just playing between 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
But that's the point, right? Most love is hardly going beyond 1, 2, and 3.
Correct. But then when you go, then you know that how deep you are. And sometimes there is obsession, but there's no trust. So then that is one part of your love or intensity of your love. You cannot reach sixth stair until you haven't crossed fourth. So it just brings you into a check that, look, I'm talking about it, but I'm not there yet.
See, now you know why Jai Madaan is the one to talk about love. She's not only great in Vastu and her astrology. It was so amazing. I mean, I rarely speak to anybody with such paradigms about love. In a song, somebody said, "Ishq junoon jab had se बढ़ जाए, हंसते हंसते आशिक सूली चढ़ जाए."
So 6th and 7th.
Correct. So when I change this to divine love, I say, प्रेमी में जिसे रब मिले इश्क वो है, प्रेमी फिर प्रेमी नहीं है, देवी है। प्रेमी फिर प्रेमी ना प्रेमी फिर देवी है, देवी मंदिर में ना देवी प्रेमी में है. So this kind of divine love is what I have encountered, and I don't know whether you have pondered about this. I love your stages of love. I'm going to adopt it and I'm going to use it with your permission. It's
more than that.
So beautiful. I realized that love is like a rainbow of 7 colors. What's your daughter's name?
Arna.
Arna. So the first type of love is between a parent and a child. The rainbow has 7 colors with gear. The violet love is between a parent and a child. We all have it. We all enjoy that love.
Very true. It's very platonic.
Yeah, but people don't consider that when you talk of love, it's only Laila Majnu kind of love. Indigo love is between friends. When you were in school, when you had definitely some good friends who used to hold hands and run around. And then the blue love is what you call that little romance. Then there's green love for ourselves. And yellow love is intellectual love. Orange love, which is emotional, more in women. And the red love, which is more in men. So actually, true love is a rainbow of 7 colors. And to me, there can be no greater ecstasy of joy than in love. But like you said, love comes 1, 2, 3, sometimes jumps up a little bit, comes back to 1, 2, 3. Love happens, It comes, it goes, it happens again. But if only we can look at love as, where does the seven colors of the rainbow come from? It comes from white. I happen to wear only white. I don't wear any other color. The rainbow comes from the white light of the sun. And it splits into the seven colors. The white love is the divine love, which is universal, supreme. You feel shy to tell somebody, I love you, because immediately you're misunderstood. Imagine somebody coming and telling, I love you. No, but I love you because I see the divine in you. Why can't I see a goddess in you and love you for the goddess that you are? Then it becomes very beautiful. I don't know if you've heard of the ancient Sufis, they call it Ishq-e Hakiki. Versus the worldly love, they call it Ishq-e Majazi. And the Greeks 2000 years ago, they call it agape versus the word erotic. It comes from the word eros. So somehow we have gone into love being hugs and kisses and Valentines. And तो प्यार रहता ही नहीं है, फिसल जाता है. It just comes and goes. Why do you think that whole of Bollywood and whole of the world today is more about just this red erotic or physical love, not so much in women? So please don't tell me, no, it's not like that for me. But don't you think that love has been misunderstood? Love has primarily become more expression of physical love. What do you think? Is true love there in the world?
No, it's there, and I think see the way God has created man. His anatomy is very physical. It's very outward. His whole anatomy is about, being all out there. Women, as the matter of anatomy, is very receptive. She receives more. She's more inward. So for a man, it's very important for him to be attracted to you, to be in love with you, because the way a man progresses in love is first physical, then it goes to emotional, and then it goes to mental.
Absolutely.
But for a woman, because she's more inward, it's first mental. Somebody has to mentally stimulate her. She has to think about the person. Then she emotionally accepts the person and opens up. And then physicality happens.
Exactly.
So that is why you see Shiv Shakti. Shiv is like upward triangle. Shakti is reverse triangle. So that's how the energy flows in a man and woman. And I think we should be contradicting of what it is. I think we should be understanding and accepting it more and more in the way that this is how it is and how do we make it beautiful. Like for a woman, a perfect man should have 3 P's in life. He should be protective, he should be providing, and he should be pampering. So he has to have these 3 P's in life to make her feel fulfilled in the relationship. But for a man to have a woman of his dreams, she should have 4 qualities in her. And that's mentioned in Shiv Swarodaya. I just say things in my language. But Ma Parvati asked that, what a woman should do to be always, that the man is always, with her, thinking about her or in love with her. He said there should be 4 qualities in a woman. She should be nurturing like a mother. So if you want food, she should be pushing you, nahi thoda kha lo, no, have a little, take a bite. She should have that motherly quality in her. She should be like a friend, quality number 2. Where you talk about any dirty secrets and it's not up on the surface again. You hear it out and trash it like you do it with friends.
Yeah.
The third quality is like she should be like a sevika. It doesn't mean that she should be in any way lesser than you. But if she has to serve you, like how we tell our home staff to pick our laundry or our clothes, we don't even think twice that will they like it? I mean, like we do it in a hotel when we are leaving our stuff for laundry. We can leave it anyway and we know it's their work to pick. So there's no hesitation about anything, that you express outwardly. So that should be the mindset, that they should never have disgust feeling related.
Seva bhav, like this.
Not disgust is the right rust for it. Seva is another feeling to it. And the fourth is that she should be like a new lover. So she has to be so intimately engrossing that every day you should feel it's a different woman. It's not the same woman. So there has to be so much of physical creativity or intimate creativity in her, where you just get more explored and explored. But that wasn't the quality a woman needed in a man.
What the 3 P's you spoke about?
Correct.
What are the 3 P's you said?
He should be providing. Like a man should always give to woman without she asking for
Whatever
it. You
she
should
needs.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah, materialistic, spiritual, whatever it is. I mean, you have to be the provider. That's how nature created man. During the cave times, when human understood that what being a man and a woman is, a man used to go out, hunt, and provide food,
Yes.
and a woman used to nurture, nourish, cook, take care of babies, and do all of that. Unless the man was weak and the woman had to go out and figure out some other ways. So man has to be a provider.
And then
Then he has to be a protector, whether it's with your mother, with your sister, with the people on social media. Whenever she needs protection, no matter how strong she is,
You're
you
strong
should
then.
be at the
Yeah,
back.
yeah.
You should have her back. And the third is pampering. She should always be felt as if she's the only priority that matters.
have you done podcasts on love before or not really?
No, I haven't.
You should. Somebody asked a woman, what is intimacy? And what did she say? I loved it. She said, intimacy is when you into me see. Intimacy is when you into me see. Don't just brush me away. Because as you say, and it's so funny that God has made man very different and woman very different.
True.
Whether we like it or not, a woman is mostly monogamous and man is generally polygamous.
No, both of them were never supposed to be monogamous, because the concept of marriage just came 2,500 years ago, when marriages were only meant for kings and the rulers. So they used to have these 300, 600, God knows how many number of wives. So the normal man never had an opportunity to have a woman. Hence they started the culture of child marriage, so that the society understands that having an eye on somebody else's woman is bad. Now, the moment that woman grows up, the king takes her, or the ruler takes her, or the rich ones takes her. So to have a designation that she belongs to that guy, they used to get her married at 4, 5, 6, and then gone out, or giving away of the girl used to happen after her puberty. So at that point of time, the concept was very relevant, because a man, for the population to exist, had to have a woman, and what were his desires. So hence child marriage was very valid then.
Okay.
For a woman to have stability in relationship, and for a man to have a companionship in his life. But marriage never existed. People used to live together in a tribe. They used to have kids out of each other, and the kids belonged to the tribe.
Yeah.
It wasn't ever meant to be, this is my husband and he can't look left and he can't look right.
Where did marriage actually become a firm institution?
Well, it started thanks to Sri Rama. His father, had 3 wives. But when he married Sita ji, he said that to expect a woman to be a pativrata, you first have to be a patnivrata. Now, in whatever circumstances it is going to be, I will just be a one-woman man. And the mindset started changing. And also by that time, rulers started having a lot of women. And the whole concept of the society was developed that you cannot have somebody else's woman. It's bad. It wasn't bad till the time they were swapping and living together in tribes. But then, when this concept came into being, the population and the emotional balance of people started getting stabilized. And women who were like a king having 600 or 300 wives, उस बिचारी का number कब आएगा? When is he going to, or she is going to spend time with him? Hence, there was so much of irritation and depression and anxiety and suffering for women. For this to end, the concept of marriage started, and then another suffering started.
I wonder what love used to be at that point of time, because going back, because love was always love. Today, there's a lot of conflict between, even in the Bhagavad Gita, moha, which is attachment, and prem, which is love. How do you see? Because people are attached. You must be having, in your society, there are women who are very possessive about their men, and there are men who are very attached to their women. So how do you see attachment versus love?
Attachment is second stage of love. So it is not against love. Being possessive has nothing to do with attachment. You can be possessive about things that you're not attached to. I'll give you an example of it. And we have it by birth. It's in our DNA. You see a little child sitting next to you, and you give a child a toy. Now, after the child has played with the toy, he'll throw the toy one side. Chapter over. Now you bring another kid into picture. You pick up the same toy that the child wasn't interested in and was dumped at one corner, and you give the same toy to another child. The child wants the toy back. Now there is no attachment with the toy.
Correct.
Else he would have not thrown the toy that side.
Right.
But this is possessiveness. You stamp things. That's not attachment. Attachment is when you understand that I am more and more involved and threaded to this person. Possessiveness is that you only belong to me. That's not love. It's being possessive about something, and people can be possessive about things. Could be toys, clothes, shoes, their style, their mindset, their words, their concept, any damn thing. That's a different thing where possessiveness leads to jealousy. But love can have jealousy or can have inspiration. For example, there is this song, aapko yaad rehte hain gaane, but let me try and think. I'm poor at this. I'm not a very musical person.
Good if you can hum a few lines.
Like this song, my daughter plays on piano. What is that song of Ranbir Kapoor, Anushka Kapoor movie? मैं तेरे काबिल बन पाऊँ. तू सफर
मेरा तू ही
बनूं मैं तेरे काबिल, right? So बनूं मैं तेरे काबिल is one sentence of that song which says that, you know, where if my lover is not fulfilled with me, I shouldn't be feeling possessive that why is he or she looking there or is engrossed there or thinking about this fantasy or thinking about this person. I have to evolve myself where I have to fit in everything that you aspire or inspire. So where you work on your upgradation, you don't stop कि तुम ऐसा मत सोचो, तुमने इधर क्यों देखा, तुमने इससे बात क्यों किया, तुमने उसको मैसेज क्यों दिया. No. You work on it that what is lacking in me that he or she needs something.
Correct.
So that is where true love is, where you don't consider it as a part of jealousy. You consider it as a part of inspiration. You transform the same energy of red into violet now, saying that look, there's something lacking in me. That is why maybe he or she is interested in something else. Let's work on me and let's present myself in a different way. Maybe this is fulfilling for him.
Because if love is actually, very interesting. Sometime back somebody asked me, how can relationships really work? Since you said this, right? Somebody has to work towards making, they say, even a garden needs us to mow it. Some people take relationships for granted. I said, if you have a two-wheel cycle, you still fall off. In India, we are familiar with the three-wheel auto or the tuk-tuks in Bangkok that we see. But even the three-wheel sometimes can topple. That's why all cars have four wheels, or trucks at least have four wheels. And they asked me, so what is the four wheels of a relationship? I said, it's PIES, P-I-E-S. It has to be physical, it has to be intellectual, it has to be emotional and spiritual. When the relationship is body, head, heart, and soul, if somebody is bonded with those four paradigms of love working together, then the chances of people getting apart is less. Either there's something wrong in a physical relationship. There's bound to be a problem if there's something missing. Or physical is good, but emotional is missing. Then you get bored. You don't want to just be physical with somebody. Or there's okay, physical and emotional, but you don't want to talk. You get bored with each other. How long can you just make love and just be theek hai, aap theek hai, main theek hu? But what is the magical quality, the fourth wheel, which I feel, that when there is divine love between two people, when that love is from soul to soul, I feel then love goes to a different paradigm. So do you feel that people even talk of soul to soul love, or is it something new to people, or do you think what they say, ruh se ruh ka pyar? So do you feel that people actually want that, or what do you think?
See, sometimes when people are obsessed with each other, they consider it as love of soul, which is absolutely incorrect. The word spiritual is very overrated because people don't understand what spirituality is. When I ask, what do you mean by spirituality? You will just feel, probably you will have, what is your definition of spirituality?
So spirituality is not just the skin, but the divine that is within. See, Jai, how much of a beautiful somebody is, how much of a smart somebody, at the end of it, the body will wither. The body will die. But like I said, you will never die. The body is a costume. So God has made it in such a way that the body, spirituality is that what is throbbing inside you. That is what you are, the divine soul. And somebody asked me, what is soul? Spirituality is the science of the soul. A soul is a spark of unique life, S-O-U-L. So you have a spark of unique life inside you, which is you. In reality, you say, this is my hand. This is not me, this is my hand. A lot of people, they say, I am my mind. A lot of people talk of mind. And I ask them the question. I give them a yellow happy ball. I say, this is a yellow round ball. What is the shape of the mind? They start to think. They say, oh, I've never seen the mind. What is the color of the mind? The heart is pinkish, the brain is grayish. We see pictures in Emma. Then they realize the mind is just a bundle of thoughts. When you still the mind in meditation, you spoke of meditation, then the mind is still. You still the mind, you kill the mind. It doesn't appear, again it appears. So we are not the body, which is just skin. We are not the mind. So then who am I? If I am not the body, I am not the body and mind, but I am that energy that's throbbing. So spirituality is relating to that.
So the word spirituality had a Greek origin, where it came from the word spiritus, which means breath. So the word spirituality in simplistic way means ritual of breath. If you are present in now and you are always connected to your breath, you're spiritual. It has nothing to do with blah and God and divine love and nothing. If you are in now, God is happening to you. You're spiritual. Then that rest could be, your surrendering, your emotion, your divinity, your connection. But being spiritual is just being in now. If you know you're breathing and you know that you're just with your breath right now, you're spiritual, you're meditative.
Beautiful, yes, it is.
Spirituality means. So people don't even understand that being spiritual has nothing to do with being non-materialistic. Now the whole concept of Jainism, which I'm very close to, and yet Buddhism, again, which I completely emerge and enjoy, they were kings, Mahavirji and other Tirthankars, and even for that matter, Gautam Buddha. He was a king. So they had their share for their part of luxury and comfort in this life, which they had their, the process of their enlightenment was from several lives. Like Gautam Buddha has seen his 500 plus past lives. So that was a journey he was on. But in this time also, he wasn't born poor. He had a wife, he had a child, he had a beautiful, luxurious life full of enjoyments and pleasures because his father had insecurity that if he leaves everything one day. So he was given cluster of luxuries and enjoyments, yet he left everything. But it's not that he did not experience it. And similarly in Hinduism, our goddess of wealth, Ma Lakshmi, sits on a lotus, which means that money is like kichad, it is like dirt in the pond. But you have to be like a lotus, where you're not touched by it, but you're still in it. But the moment we talk about spirituality in a man or a woman, they just suddenly simply throw out all the colors from their life. They throw out all the pleasures from their life. If a couple is supposed to be spiritual, then they drop love or physical love from their life, because it actually also naturally happens that your energy elevates. Now it elevates, so your desire of physicality gets down. And when we consider this man is spiritual, like we see a lot of babas and a lot of saints, and the moment we see them, isne shadi kar li, or he had a scandal, or he had an affair, we just consider them like, what is this horrible thing? Forget about that. People just want a prime minister or a spirit or a political leader who's single. Also want him not to look at any woman. He's not claiming कि वो brahmachari hai. He's not saying that. But people expect the moment you're elevated, you cannot be physically engrossed. Hence, people who are in love, it's very difficult for them to understand and relate that how do we spiritually grow.
Beautiful. Wow, you've taken this to a completely different dimension. Let me tell you, this is a beautiful thing you've spoken, and let's help people understand. Who said being physical is wrong? Why should people think that spiritual people are not human? A spiritual person can be. The question is, should a spiritual person be on drugs and should he be drunk sleeping on the road? That's a different subject altogether. When God has made a man and a woman, why did he make it natural for a
Because
man and
now
woman to
you
be
see,
physical?
Your book has so much of similarity with, autobiography of a yogi, where it's stated in the book that a man and a woman should come closer only to procreate, not to have pleasure.
I don't agree. Do you think so?
Look, that's what when somebody is too elevated, the first thing that happens to them is that the lower chakras start getting more and more squeezed. It happens in a way where food is just necessity. It is not pleasure anymore. Like Paramhans Yogananji was very fond of food. He used to live with his wife. And each day he used to get inside and see towards the chula, kya banaya, kya banaya. And she one day said that, what is this all about food? Kya banaya? Kam kyun banaya? Zyada kyun banaya? Aaj kya banaya? Sham ko kya banaya? She said, you're such an elevated man. You are so much into Kali. What is this all about food, food, food? And he smiled and he said, that the day I stop asking about food, you should know that I'm done with this life. This is my anchor to it.
Ramakrishna Paramahansa, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
So people who actually elevate themselves, the physical desire is the first thing that leaves your system. But it should happen. You can't do it and you shouldn't do it. Hence, people who stop that desire are the ones who create these scandals, like a 60-year-old raping a 15-year-old. I won't name the Baba, but we've seen it all. Because their mind starts thinking of different ways to please them, because natural ways they are stopping.
They're frustrated, right?
Correct. Hence, the concept of marriage also started that he should have something to fulfill his desire. अगर आपको 2 रोटी की भूख है तो आपको किचन में चूल्हा और आटा तो रखना पड़ेगा ना कि आप 2 रोटी खाओगे. एल्स आप जाओगे, आप भीख मांगोगे, आप चोरी करोगे, आप किसी के गार्डन का फल तोड़ोगे, आप कुछ तो करोगे. There is hunger to it. But when God happens to you, the hunger goes away because He is happening now. But He has to happen. You can't create or inculcate.
Correct. You said it very beautifully. See, God has to happen. But even after God happens, you're still human. Still you're human. So what I'm saying is that we have needs. Now, as a human being, you need air to breathe. You can't stop breathing. Even when Buddha gave up, he did tapasya and he became, you seem to be so evolved in your following of all. So he became like a stick. His front and back became one. And then he said, no, the middle path, this is wrong. You don't have to no tapasya. He gave up tapasya. The Jains, like you said, you follow, they still, till this date, they advocate tapasya. Which means that if you are enlightened, you have to leave the world, you're a billionaire, you leave everything, you leave your slippers and walk on the road. No, I personally don't advocate it. You say, but there's a small twist here. We should enjoy. And I believe that you should enjoy whatever levels of luxury you have. When you get enlightened, then your need stops. You don't have any more greed. See, need becomes greed. What happens? You're a millionaire, you want to become a billionaire. And now billionaires you are hearing want to become trillionaires.
They have become.
Trillionaires. So when you have a BMW or a Mercedes or a limousine, you want to get your private jet. But when that doesn't stop, then that doesn't hurt others, hurt yourself.
Look, everybody is not supposed to be evolved in this lifetime.
Yeah.
There is this amazing doctor called David R. Hawkins. He worked on frequencies of human beings. And he said that to each one of us, we are supposed to be at a certain frequency on this lifetime, where the highest being enlightenment and the lowest being, feeling of shame or hurting others, like a rapist, for example, is not a rapist since he has turned 15 to 60. There could be one moment where he could fall down to his lowest point and did that.
Yes.
Even murder for that matter. It's not that somebody is running with a knife in his hand and,
always wanting to murder.
But that one moment, it happened that he reached his lowest point. Now, there's some people who even at their worst cannot kill. They just cannot kill. They cannot fall down on that frequency. The way we can fall, similarly we can rise on a certain frequency also. So he said that Einstein was a much sharper man than Mahatma Gandhi. But he wasn't on frequency of love. He was on frequency of intelligence. At this lifetime, he was supposed to invent and discover things in life, to understand so much about life and, how to make life easier for other people. He reached his maximum. He never thought of going out in public, said, I talk about politics, why don't you join me, you follow Satyagraha. He did not do anything. But Mahatma Gandhi did. And he was in that frequency where people did not question him and followed it. It happened. So one has to always work on your frequency.
Correct.
And in that whole process, if it gets dropped, तो क्या फर्क पड़ता है? वो तो छूट ही गया. You can't be putting action to look like that. You have to drop something. But each time you get engrossed, you have to remember that I am doing this and I am in it. That is why the third path, which is the path of Sikhism, Guru Nanak, which is the newest and the most young religion that we have, became so popular because none of the gurus except Guru Harkishan Sahib, who is the 8th guru, all of them married. They married, but from the day of their understanding of their form of human being till they left earth, they were always connected to God.
Right.
Their marriage, their children, their duties, their sacrifices were all surrendered to God. Not at one moment they left the dhyan of Ishwar or the divine being. So if you are doing and you are with God in it, it's not that you consider the person as God, but it's God within you, within the other person, within the act, and there's no you. When there's no you, he's happening to you.
That's what you said, the 8th stage. You said moth.
7th stage.
You're speaking, you also spoke very interestingly in some podcast of your 3 Ps. What are the 3 Ps you always tell people? I think you don't ask them a buzz around or something, right?
Yeah.
What are the 3 Ps?
So I enjoy 3 Ps of life. So I ask people that what is prosperity? I believe in 3 Ps of life. To live like a fulfilled life, you need to be prosperous, you need to be powerful, and you need to be peaceful.
So beautiful. And that resonated with me. I've written a book called The Happiness Secret. So how do you spell happy?
I think if I accept the moment that it is, and without any remorse, and something that just makes me balanced. For me, happiness is balanced. It
Correct.
doesn't mean excitement to me.
But when you spell happy, how do you spell it? H-A?
PPY.
So I've cut that spelling from my dictionary and I've respelled it as Happy, your 3 Ps. Why did I make it 3 Ps? Because your 3 Ps are very interesting. Even the earlier 3 Ps you spoke about. So the 3 Ps in my happiness is we all need pleasure. We must have pleasure. Otherwise life becomes boring. But imagine we have all the pleasure in this world, but we have no peace. Peace is the very foundation of happiness. Don't you agree?
I agree.
So pleasure comes from achievement and peace comes from fulfillment. But the third P is not achievement and fulfillment, it's enlightenment. And that is purpose. So the 3 Ps that I talk about are pleasure, peace, and purpose. So when you discover the purpose of life, when you discover who am I, Ramana Maharishi said Nan Yar, or even when they say Guru, when they say Ek Omkar, when they take the whole mantra, they're all talking of the same thing which is in the Upanishads. The Upanishads says Neti Neti Tattvamasi, and it means that I am not this body, I am not the mind, I am that. And so if you are a divine soul and I am a divine soul, back to that subject, then the love between soul to soul, the soul cannot love without physical, intellectual, and emotional. Because the soul is embodied. The soul cannot be flying here. Against many popular beliefs that the soul leaves and the soul is hovering. I don't believe that because that's a belief. But the truth is, the minute if you burst a balloon, what happens to the air? The air merges with the air that is everywhere. So I believe if our souls leave, the Atma becomes one with the Paramatma. But back to love. So one of the songs that I wrote, I said, रूह से रूह का प्यार जो करता, उसका दिल ना टूटता है, प्रेमी से उम्मीदें ना है, प्रेमी तो फिर देवी है, शर्तों पे निर्भर प्यार ना है, प्यार ऐसा तो पूजा है, प्रेमी में जो प्रभु पाता है, दिल उसका ना टूटता है। प्रेमी की खुशी वो है चाहता, प्रेमी से सुख में वो खुश है। प्रेमी चाहे दूर भी हो तो प्रेमी दिल के अंदर है। दिस इज द सोलफुल लव। प्रेम योग में हमें जीना है, एक प्रेम योगी कहते थे। एंड देन ही सेज, तुम आओ तो भी खुश, ना आओ तो भी खुश, जो मिलो तो भी खुश, ना मिलो तो भी खुश। सो व्हेन लव इज सो डिवाइन, no doubt love is divine. It will manifest physically. We can't be impractical. It will manifest physically, it will manifest emotionally, it will manifest intellectually. But like I said, if we are intertwined, body, head, heart and soul, this relationship can't break. What do you think? You think this is workable? That if this, I hope you get what I'm saying. So I don't just love you because you're gorgeous. If I love you because you're gorgeous, then I love you only because you're gorgeous. What happens the moment you're not gorgeous? The love breaks. But what if I love you because you're divine?
Yes, but then you can love 50 other people if they are divine.
Yes, it's okay. So beautiful. That is about, this is the crux of the whole thing. That when you realize you are a soul, I realize I'm a soul. So what are we all? We're all souls. We are like waves. So you're one of the wave. You come from the ocean. You go back to the ocean. I'm a wave. I come from the. So in reality, back to those thousands of years ago, that you can love anybody.
Yeah, so then when you can love anybody, then what does pleasure means? It only means pleasure. Then there's no wave.
Why? When do you say that?
Because you see that love is not just about, finding divine in somebody. Love is about being divine.
Absolutely.
When you are in that phase, then you can love. You are love. You cannot love. For the people, if you see real saints in life, I don't know how many of you have really encountered, but when you sit with them, any look that they have to anyone is so equivalent.
Correct.
Whether it is to a rickshawala, to a billionaire, to anybody, you have to become love. That's goal of life. You cannot love. How can you love? Then that is an emotion. Today you can love, tomorrow you can hate also.
But when you are in the divine love, when it's soul to soul love, then you are, although you may have your parents, for example, a saint will still love his parents, but he will also love somebody else's parents with enough respect. There will always be a difference between my parents because they gave birth to me, but I don't disregard others' parents.
Yes, but then that is understanding, and love doesn't have understanding. When you become love, then you understand that it's all same. My parents, your parents, me, you, everything. That is something that they talk about being divine love. What we consider is finding somebody else and finding God in them. Ab wo insaan hi nahi raha. What if the other one of them dies? Then what does the other do? Then he finds divine love in somebody else.
But that's the way to do it. How else do you do it?
Correct. So when you look for alternatives because you need to be in a certain phase of mind, then you're actually never in phase of mind.
But when you love somebody divinely, you just said that the person is no more, a person passes away. Do you suggest that you should pine or you should find somebody else who's divine?
When you find somebody else to pour your love, then you're actually not in love. You're just entangled to an emotion to be more engrossed with. Like, I like this tea, I want to have this tea. Abhi tea khatam ho gayi. Now I want to got onto something, anything hot that I want because I want to surf onto something. Then there is no love in it.
Yeah.
When you actually love divine, every other human being just becomes a medium of it. Then one going or the other coming becomes irrelevant in life.
Correct. But it doesn't mean that you have to give up if you have a beloved. You just have to evolve from that beloved being just a beloved to being a divine. Let me ask you a more interesting question. So I try to break my head on the word love. So have you ever contemplated what is L-O-V-E? Have you ever contemplated?
No, I don't enjoy too much of English words. I can hear you out.
So I found L-O-V-E to be longing of the soul, which is V, very passionate, and E creates an ecstasy of joy. True love, because if a person dies, the person can't love. For sure, if a person is dead, you can't love somebody because the soul is gone.
That's not true. Now, there are many scriptures which say that when a person dies and he's not ready to die, like suppose somebody just meets an accident outside there. The person wasn't ready. The person may be preparing for his marriage or going on a date or had a lot of other desires to do. Now suddenly this person dies and the soul is out. Now the soul is out and soul is trying to get inside the body and say, hey, what's happening? Why am I not going in? Hence Hindus decided to burn the body. They say now there is no body, boss. You go. ये आपकी ashes इकट्ठी की और ये भी हमने डाल दी. कुछ नहीं बचा, कहीं वापस नहीं
और soul कहाँ है फिर?
Go back. But in Christianity and in Muslims, it doesn't happen that way. So they bury the body. The body takes 3 months to 6 months to decay. जब तक वो पूरा खत्म होगा. So the soul is out there, which is again trying कि मैं coffin के अंदर जाऊँ, to take. Hence Tantra was created from that. To fooling of soul. So there is very amazing another anatomy to say that you live in a system, in a realm where there are angels, there are vampires, there are souls, there's humans, there are animals, and there are Patali animals also. It's all there. And if you understand it in a realistic way, you see somebody dies and you're in complete pain and you go and meet and somebody says this is a medium and he can make you talk to the departed soul. And people have very, very documented, like lessons on it. You don't know, suppose you're a medium and I've come and say, you know what, I lost a friend and I would want you to connect me to the friend. And you don't know me, you don't know who the hell died. And you exactly know the name the person used to call me with, what were our conversations at this point of time, at that point. Now, where is all this information coming from? There is some iCloud of somebody who's not there and an iCloud which is somebody being there. You just know how to tap a password and you say, boss, here's the information, take it. And that's what Steve Jobs exactly did. iCloud always existed. He just got it into the IT firm. And that's where Apple created what it created. So it's not that the souls just go away and souls cannot love. If you're attached to somebody, that's where the real attachment is, where you just look for ways for things to happen. Now the soul cannot do anything. It gives you ideas, it communicates through you in dreams, you get messages, you act upon it. And Shastra also says that like gods protect you in one realm and listen to your prayers, your ancestors also listen to your prayers, hence the concept of Shraddha exists.
Yeah.
So a soul can also love. Coming back to
Soul is love. Actually, when I told you what love is, I found true. True is transcendental. It's a rainbow. I do a rainbow of seven colors. And it is unconditional. True, when you talked of 8 stages of love. So true love is transcendental, a rainbow of 7 colors, unconditional and eternal. Somehow I believe that my strong belief of true love is if you love, you never leave. And if you leave, it only means you never loved. Because true love, if you really love somebody, we see so many movies where he's in love with a girl at this side of the face. And when he sees the other side of the face, he's horrified. He's like, I can't believe that it's the same girl I love. Yeah, but we always loved only this side of the face. That was love of the skin. Very interesting thing before we can go on and on. You're such an interesting conversationalist that I can speak to you for hours. So I found a very beautiful thing, and then I'll let you see how you'd like to close it. I found if I say, I love you only because I need you, then in reality, I don't really love you. I just need you. But if I need you because I love you, then I love you. That's why I need you. I don't know if you got what I'm saying.
I do get it. Yeah. But you have to also understand that love happens with a reason, for a reason, and because of a reason. Right? You like somebody because either the other person is giving you pleasure, you're excited, the other person is pumping your ego. There's some damn reason.
The click happens.
After that click, the love happens. It's not that you're just open your eyes and find and you look at the person and say, this is my soulmate.
No,
it doesn't happen like that. Somebody triggers something in you where it happens. Trigger happens because there's a reason. So love always have a reason. There is nothing called unconditional love. Zero.
No, does it not grow into that?
It never. For a mother and a child to have a deep unconditional love, that's what the nature calls is closest to it, because the child is extension of the mother. She's given birth to the child. Then also a mother has 4 kids. The one who respects the mother the most gets the most out of the mother.
Absolutely.
Where does unconditional love goes for the rest of 3?
Yeah.
Or your attraction or affection happens to the rest of 3. We say it, we want to achieve it, but it doesn't happen like that. It's only God who loves you unconditionally.
Beautiful.
Rest all is bakwas and shad and facade and all of it. You know, we sometimes, you love somebody, you see a goddess in her, and one fine day she loses her arms and legs. Then you find pity on that goddess, and one fine day you outgrow of that love also, because now the physical love is not there.
No, but
एक पहिया तो है ही अब. You only said 4 पहिए चाहिए, auto भी topple करेगा.
नहीं, बिल्कुल. What you said?
Unconditional love.
बिल्कुल.
It's only God who loves you, accepts you, desires you, waits for you, and never counters you and say, come back to me. It's only Him. Rest all are little ansh or little, like jhalak of what you have, what He does to you, and you feel, this is it. Like you can be at 0 degree and imagine what minus 30 would be. That's not minus 30. It is little feeling of minus 30. So true love, it's just something that we can always desire for. We cannot have it. We are not capable to have it. हम भगवान को नहीं कर पाते, इंसान को कैसे कर पाएंगे? उसमें भी शर्त है. इस बार गुरु जी पूरी करेंगे तो वहाँ जाएंगे. कृष्ण जी पूरी करेंगे तो वहाँ जाएंगे. अरे माता रानी का पूरा. We as human beings cannot understand until His grace falls upon us.
I do not know if you know that I built a huge statue of Shiva in Bangalore. It's a 65-foot statue. It's 6-story building. And Jata se Ganga behti hai. If you've not seen, when you come, you must. So I was in love with Shiva from 8 to 48. I was the greatest Shiva Bhakt. Om Namah Shivaya was my mantra. One day I was singing to Prabhu. I said, है ये आस्था मुकम्मल तुम ही हो, जीवन में मेरे और कुछ नहीं हो, कन कन मेरा तुम बस तुम ही हो, और कुछ भी आए जगह नहीं हो, मेरे तन मन में मुकम्मल तुम ही हो, बस एक तुम ही हो, बस एक तुम ही हो, मेरे दिल में बस एक तुम ही हो. I was so madly in love with Shiva when I realized Shivoham, which means Shiva's here, Shiva's not there. And then Shiva blessed me. People talk of Dhyana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga. And I was blessed with what I call Prema Yoga, the yoga of love, the yoga of divine manifestation. I know you will not agree with me now completely, but hear me out and then you. So what I felt, I now love everybody as a manifestation of the divine. As I told you, I may love you as you're gorgeous, but
will you love a terrorist also at the same time?
yes.
And if he's killing people, and because you love him, will you give him freedom to go and kill people?
No.
Because I love you, and divine is killing.
No, that's another 1-hour podcast. But you know what happens is, you understand that his karma or for a certain reason he's doing it because the whole world, this Leela, this Maya, this unfolding. So that's a completely different thing. But you're absolutely right in that question. You have a very valid point. But I still love the divine in him and understand, see, electricity is giving light to a bulb. But if the electricity has got an equipment that is killing, it's not the electricity that's killing, it's the tool that's killing. So,
but you see God in the tool.
This is, it's a very interesting story since you're asking this. Once Guru was telling his Shishya, Sab mein Prabhu dekhna, Sab mein Prabhu hai, Sab mein Prabhu hai. He said, Theek hai Guruji. So the next day, Guru was not yet come. Somebody shouted, hey, pagal hathi aa raha hai, pagal hathi aa raha hai. So this man said, नहीं, गुरुजी ने कहा सब में प्रभु है, सब में प्रभु है. So he went in front of the hathi. The hathi caught him and broke his bones into pieces. 3 days later he comes back to the Guru and says, Guru, आपने क्या बोला? कि सब में प्रभु है, सब में प्रभु है. देखो मैं हाथी के सामने गया, मैं पीस हो गया. The Guru said, पागल, तुमने पागल हाथी के सामने गया, लेकिन जो माहौल था, जो बोल रहा था कि पागल हाथी है, भागो भागो भागो, उसकी बात नहीं सुनी. But you got a very interesting point. But I'm just sharing with you, and I love if you can ponder upon it. I have experienced the yoga of divine love. And I believe that if we can see God in all, if we can love God in all and serve God in all, This is a state of eternal true love. I know we cannot continue a discussion on this because our time is out. But I'll leave you with a small song, just 1 minute song. I say, सब में प्रभु को देख के सबसे प्यार करना, प्रभु से प्यार करने का एक ही है रास्ता, सबसे प्यार कर लो, प्रभु से प्यार कर लो. The only way to love God is to love His manifestations. And this what happens, the most beautiful thing I want to leave you with is this. When you love God, when you love, suppose I love everybody as God, all the poor, anybody who comes to me, I have that divine love for them, then God loves you. So when you love God, then how does God love you? प्रेम योग में जो जीता उसे प्रसाद मिलता ये, प्रभु प्रेमी में आके फिर उसे प्यार करता है, प्रभु का प्यार उसको मिलता जो प्रेम योगी है, प्रेमी में वो देवी पाता, प्रभु से प्यार करता है, प्रेमी में जो प्रभु देखे वही प्रभु पाता है, प्रेमी बनके देवी आके उसे प्यार करता है. The prasad we get divine love. And I loved your concept of love, your 8 stages, your 3 P's. I want you to conclude with your thoughts. I don't know whether you even got what I'm trying to say, but it's too beautiful because I experienced Prema Yoga. And Prema Yoga is divine love.
I know and I understand and I relate to what you say, but you haven't experienced the pain of the beloved leaving, which one day you have to, because either you go or the other goes or whatever circumstances. That is eternal, and that is the day the dawn falls upon you. That love is very addictive, and it is only non-addictive to the one who is nothing else than love. So when you find it through people, you're still looking at the reflection of the moon. You're not looking at the moon. So I believe that the earlier we understand that it is moon, rest all is reflection, and you don't leave the moon. Reflection happens, not happens, great. But when you're stuck to the reflection, well, hell, the reflection will go.
Beautiful, beautiful. But that's it. What you're saying is we are loving the manifestations.
Correct.
But in reality, our love is not for the manifestation. It's for the moon.
Yes.
And when you love Prabhu, Prabhu ko jo pyar karta hai, wo sab kuch paate. What a lovely evening. I hope people are going to enjoy. You are such a gorgeous goddess. Lovely. Thank you.
Pleasure.
Thank you for patiently listening to the video. And if you have questions, if you want to contact me, just WhatsApp me on 98451 55555. WhatsApp India 9198451 55555. But if you want to get answers to your questions, then come on Zoom, and the Zoom ID is on your screen. Every day at 8, you will find answers to all the difficult questions of life. See you there.